My girlfriend destroyed my apartment while I was away. So I packed her bags, kicked her out, and took her to court. I'm 29 male, and I thought I had my life together. Stable job, decent apartment, and a steady relationship. I'm not the type to write long rants online, but this one I need to get off my chest. So here it goes. I've been dating Elle for about a year. She's 26, fun, spontaneous, and pretty much the opposite of me in a lot of ways. I like that at first. I've always been the guy who follows the rules, keeps a schedule, makes sure things don't go off the rails. But Elle, she lived in the moment, always making everything an adventure. She brought a little chaos to my life, and I thought that was exactly what I needed. Turns out, there's a difference between chaos and straight up irresponsibility. So, I had this work trip coming up, a week out of town. Nothing new, but I asked Elle if she wanted to stay at my place while I was gone. She'd been staying over a lot anyway, and I figured she'd help by feeding my cat and watering the plants. No big deal, right? I trusted her. When I got back, I walked into what I can only describe as a disaster zone. The apartment smelled like stale beer, old food, and something burnt. It was weird because neither of us smoked, but I found cigarette butts all over the place. There were empty bottles on every surface, clothes, some of which definitely weren't mine, scattered across the floor, and my couch had this massive stain that I still can't explain. The worst part? My brand new 65-inch TV was smashed to hell. I just stood there, completely stunned. I'm not a neat freak, but my place had been turned upside down. I called Elle, trying to keep it together. She didn't pick up. I sent a couple of texts and waited. About an hour later, she strolled in like nothing was wrong, arms loaded with shopping bags. "Hey, babe," she said, completely casual like she wasn't walking into a crime scene. I couldn't believe it. What the hell happened here? She looked around, barely glancing at the mess. "Oh, we had a little get-together while you were gone. No big deal. I cleaned up most of it." Most of it? I pointed it at the TV. "My TV is smashed, Elle. The place is trashed." She shrugged like it was no big deal. "Yeah, my bad. One of my friends knocked it over. We can get you a new one. Don't freak out." I felt my blood pressure spike. "Give me a new one? You didn't even call to tell me. You just left this mess for me to find." She rolled her eyes. "Seriously, it's just a TV. Why are you making such a big deal out of this? You're acting like I burned the place down." I was speechless. "It's not just a TV. Look at this place. You had people over without even asking me, and now everything's destroyed. My stuff, my home." She sat down on the couch, her shoes still on like she didn't give a damn. "Jesus, relax. You're so uptight sometimes. It was just a few friends. We had fun, it got a little wild, and yeah, things got broken. We'll fix it." "We?" I snapped. "You mean you will fix it? This is on you." "Ed." She gave me this smirk. "You're really gonna throw a fit over a party?" That was it. I went to the bedroom, grabbed her bag still full of the crap she'd just bought, and tossed them into the hallway. "You need to go. Now." She blinked like she couldn't believe what she was hearing. "You're kicking me out? Over this? Over this? Over everything. You don't care about anything but yourself, and I'm done with it." Her face twisted with anger. "You're seriously doing this? After everything I've done for you?" I laughed, but there was no humor in it. "What have you done for me? Spend my money? Trash my place? You're out." She grabbed her bags and stormed out, muttering something under her breath about me being too sensitive. For a second, I thought that was the end of it. I figured she'd cool off, maybe send me a half-assed apology, but she didn't. She was too proud for that. Instead, she started playing dirty. A couple of days later, I started getting texts from mutual friends asking why I was being so harsh on Elle. Apparently, she'd been telling everyone that I'd overreacted, that it was just a party, and I'd kicked her out for no reason. She made it sound like I was some kind of controlling psycho who couldn't handle a little fun. I tried to ignore it, but it got under my skin. The worst part? Some of our friends actually believed her. They started giving me the cold shoulder, acting like I was the bad guy. It pissed me off, but I wasn't going to back down. Then she showed up at my door. I opened it, and there she was, standing there with that smug look on her face, like she thought she could charm her way back in. "Can we talk?" She said, her voice sugary sweet. There's nothing to talk about, I replied, ready to slam the door in her face. Come on, don't be like that. We both said some things we didn't mean. I stared at her, baffled. What are you talking about? You trashed my place, lied to my friends, and now you think we can just talk it out? She stepped closer, lowering her voice like she was trying to reason with me. Look, I know I messed up, but this doesn't have to be a big deal. I'll pay for the TV. We'll clean up, and we'll forget this whole thing ever happened. I laughed again, this time genuinely. Forget it happened? Elle, you don't get it. It's not about the TV or the mess. It's the fact that you don't care. You don't respect me or my space, and I'm done letting you walk all over me. Her eyes narrowed. You think you're so perfect, huh? Like you've never messed up. You're acting like this is all on me. Maybe if you weren't so uptight all the time, this wouldn't have happened. I shook my head, amazed at her audacity. This is your mess, Elle. Take some responsibility for once. And that's when she dropped the bomb. You know what? She said, her voice ice cold. I've been living here for months. I have rights. You can't just kick me out. I could make this really hard for you if I wanted to. I was stunned. You're seriously pulling that? She smirked. Yeah, you might want to think twice before you do something you'll regret. I slammed the door in her face. After that, things got worse. She started showing up at random times, texting me, trying to guilt trip me into taking her back. At one point, she even tried to claim she left stuff at my place and needed to come in to get it. I wasn't having any of it. I knew I needed to do something before she made good on her threats. I called a lawyer, explained the situation, and thankfully, I found out her little I have rights claim wasn't as strong as she thought. Since she wasn't on the lease and didn't officially live there, I could get her out. It wasn't going to be easy, but it was possible. And then I took it a step further. I sued her for the damages. She didn't take that well. Started telling everyone I was out to get her, that I was just being vindictive. It was ridiculous. But at that point, I didn't care. I was done with her manipulation, done with the lies. I wasn't going to back down. The lawsuit took longer than I expected, but eventually, I won. She was ordered to pay for the damage she caused, including the TV and cleaning costs. She tried to weasel out of it, of course, claiming she didn't have the money, but that wasn't my problem. I had the judgment, and I was going to make sure she paid every cent. After that, she finally disappeared, moved on to some other guy, probably spinning the same story about how I was the villain. I heard through a mutual friend that she was up to her old tricks, but I didn't care anymore. I was done. Looking back, I don't regret how things ended. It was messy, sure, but it needed to happen. I learned a lot from that whole disaster, mainly about what I would and wouldn't tolerate in the future. The biggest lesson? Don't ignore the red flags. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. Don't let someone trash your life, then act like you're the problem for caring about it. So yeah, that's my story. If you're ever in a situation like mine, trust me, kick them out, clean up the mess, and don't look back. You'll thank yourself later. Thank you so much for listening to my story. If you have any thoughts, I'd love to hear them. So please leave a comment. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want more stories like this one.